So we were members with the SCANCA organization since the onset, since the very beginning. Actually, I was one of the first presidents of SCANCA, and so we've been members for quite some time now.
Our children have had their struggles with sickle cell disease.
Yes.
I would say at this stage of their lives, they're in a pretty good place. There were struggles early on, a lot, but we are thankful that they're where they are today.
Yeah, for the most part, they're doing very, very well. We're pleased with the outcome of their life, especially when you've had doctors to say that they wouldn't live to see 16 years old. And now we have a son and daughter that's 33, and my son, I believe, is 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Having sickle cell affected our life. Children with sickle cell, I think it has affected greatly. We were very young when we got married. We was 20 years old, and so you're talking about 20 years old, and then having a child. I think at 22 with sickle cell and being constantly in the hospital. Then it can cause some chaos with us, not spending time together, always in the hospital, always stressed. So yeah, it has caused, just from being married so young and not just having time to spend with each other or time to really talk, because our major concern was trying to keep our children healthy to the best of our ability. It
was very difficult at times because we would be so tired sometimes of going to the hospital that when our kids got sick, one would say, well, they're not sick enough to go to the hospital, and then the other would be like, yeah, we're going, and then trying to decide, because we knew if they went, they would be admitted. And so that was always, very expensive, very disruptive to, trying to raise a family, and just very stressful overall. So we had to get past that and just really try to get on one accord with how the best way to raise our, chronically ill kids. And, thank God we were able to do that.
So many things like jobs, family, other family members. And mind you, we had a daughter, an older daughter, and she didn't have sickle cell, so it affected her just as much as it affected everybody else. So it was a challenge in the very beginning.
Yeah, and trying to make sure she was okay when her two younger siblings would get so much attention, not attention they wanted, but attention they probably needed, because they were literally fighting for their lives. The advice we would give to other couples who may be struggling with chronically ill kids, diseases like sickle cell, I know Michael and I both have a deep faith, and that has carried us. I think also we had a very supportive family. We have family members who would take our older daughter and who would make sure she was okay, and who would sit at the hospital when we couldn't be there. When we couldn't spend a night at the hospital, maybe my brother or his brother or my sister, somebody could do that for us. So we had a lot of support from family members and friends.
But also have patience. You have to have patience dealing with children with sickle cell, and to really be there for them. A lot of times, they don't understand why they're going through this. Sometimes they think it's something that they've done, and that's not the case at all. So just trying to reassure them, and to really hang in there. A lot of times, man, there were moments I think we probably wanted to give up, but you really have to hang in there. Not trying to be super deep or spiritual, but there's a scripture that says the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endure to the end. So you really have to be able to endure to the end, for your children, and not just for your children, but for each other too, as well as a couple.